Hey y'all, this is Lisa Zahiya, and this video is all about how I built several 6- and 7-figure businesses and sort of the trajectory to getting to being a full-time coach with a high 6-figure business, and how maybe you could do the same thing. You know, I'm going to make these videos about how I help my clients. We got to start with client number 1, which is me. What did I do for myself? So let's go way back to the beginning. Lisa's in college, gets an undergrad degree in business marketing, got an MBA, same thing, marketing and entrepreneurship. Got a job doing marketing at Sylvan Learning Centers, which is an education-based company. They, maybe you've heard of them. They also own Hooked on Phonics. Great. Guess what? I was miserable, but I learned a lot about customer acquisition, and customer acquisition is just figuring out how to get the right clients to come in the door repeatedly. I learned a lot about using data to use digital marketing to find the right people and then recreate that process so that you can do a math problem about how to get the right people and not an emotional problem. And I learned a lot sort of in Web 1.0 about how we were going to use the internet to get data, find the right people, and do the right messaging. So I did that, and I was severely unhappy, but I learned a lot. And I hit a point, I hit a bit of a rock bottom with some other things in my life, and I quit my job, and I was like, I'm going to open a dance business. I'm going to be a full-time dance teacher. Somebody came to me, and they were like, that's so nice. I'm so amazed that you're going to be okay being poor. And I was like, absolutely not. So I used mindset, and I was like, I'm not willing to do that. I'm going to leverage my past experience. That's point number 1 you really want to think about. I'm going to leverage my past experience, anything I've done in my life that I can take into my business to create a sustainable and amazing business. So I started small. I self-funded the first dance studio. Woo! I lived in the back of it. It was $1,000 a month. There was one teacher. It was me. But I did a lot of marketing and sales going out into the community. I would teach anybody a free dance class. And then I created constant communication with them about what was unique about my business. Point number 2, I always thought about what was unique about me and how I could do this. And I slowly started to build. I had another job. I'd taken a full-time job as a bookkeeper. And I thought, when I can hit $45,000, yes, with my business, I will quit my job. So I set very specific financial goals. And then because I was doing it part-time, I will duplicate my efforts because I understood some of this data around it, leveraging my old work and old work skills, and I really grew my customer base quickly. Also did a lot of performance, but really got a very clear message that my dance studio wasn't Miss Debbie's School of Dance for your children. It was for adult women at any level to feel great about their bodies. So I had very clear messaging, and I never said, I'm a dance teacher. I said, I'm a dance teacher for adult women to help them feel good in their bodies. So people got very clear on my messaging and what I did. That grew and grew and grew and grew. We moved to a new studio, much larger, much more professional, and I got to live somewhere else. Woo! And guess what? I was not poor. I had hit that $45,000 and I was full-time. That was 18 years ago. And then slowly but surely, I kept recreating that. Here's the message, putting it into the community. Here's the impact I can make on people, telling stories, thinking about how I'm different. And as I was doing that, we built that business to 1 studio, 2 studios, 3 studios, 2 studios that we had, and then teaching at other people's studios, bringing this message. And we got that business to upwards of $700,000 a year, which was just a representation of all the faculty that we had. We were doing a lot. At one point I had 21 faculty and hundreds of students every week. And that was amazing. We were impacting the community. But the way that I did it is I leaned on the back of my experiences. What do I have that's special that I can bring into the world? And then my special messaging. This is about people feeling good in their bodies. And then I brought it to the right people. So you have a gift to give to people, but it has to be clearly communicated what is unique about that, and then how to give it to the right people. Because like, if you want my sunglasses, I mean, who doesn't? They're a little dirty. As if you're the right person, you want them. But if somebody who already has sunglasses on, I give these to them, they don't want them. So I gotta find the right person. At that point, we were talking about leverage again. At that point, people were saying, hey, can you help me with my business? And in that, I thought, people said, I'll pay you. And I was like, oh, I don't really know how to do that. So I didn't just leverage my old experience to help them. I also went out and got two things that were super important. Got an education and what I was going to do. I went to coaching school. Since then, I've done a bunch of different coaching, continuing ed for myself. And I got a coach. I got somebody to help me do this stronger, better, faster. And I went to her and we grew both the dance studio really quickly, and she helped me come up with a process to launch, and I leaned into my old marketing experience, a coaching business, and I started doing that part-time. Grew that, was able to do that with the studio, and I saw something interesting. I was able to be like, this business makes this much but costs a lot of money because there's rent and teachers and more rent and more rent and more rent. And then this business is me leveraging my information, my knowledge on how to do this. So although it made less, but still was doing very well, I was making more. Put that one in my pocket. So I was able to pull more of the money that went to me, the owners draw the salary. So leveraged old skills to do a new thing. And I really took time to think about how I built that business and make a framework so I could put that in the coaching business, got educated, and then got help. So then, whoopsie, nobody's allowed to work. It's COVID. Had to close the business, was still on the hook for the $6,000 in rent for the dance studio, and was like, what am I gonna do? It's a repeatable process. I leveraged what I already knew. I got help. And I got any education that I needed. So I doubled down on refreshing anything I needed to know about digital marketing and sales. I leaned into the right messaging for the right people at the right time, was able to build an online business that made even more than that in-person dance studio, because my audience was the entire world, but I had to find the right people. So I went back and used those skills. And then that got, at the same time I did that, I offered to coach people to do the same thing with their business, which is take it online and grow the business and learn how to serve people on a global scale or even a national scale instead of in their community. I grew my business by teaching people how to do, once again, what I had to do, and then I made sure I had the skill set to do that. And the mindset, making sure, especially during COVID, really working on the mindset of like, how can I be in this situation a person who is helping instead of a person who is hindering? That's important to me. So at that point, the dance got profitable, but coaching was more profitable and honestly had more of my heart. So we kept doing the coaching business. And at that point, I ran up into a big problem, which was my time was maxed out. I had the amount of clients I was working with. So I went back to some of my old experiences, some of my education and the coaching that I had, and I made a group program. So I was doing one-to-many instead of one-to-one. Neat. So did that, and then was able to, at any point, I could spend 1 hour teaching 20, 30, 40 people how to do this instead of just one, offer them an affordable price. And I kept my one-on-ones and was able to offer that at a premium. Since then, I've continued to develop that model so that I have evergreen, meaning courses that people can buy that I'm not involved in, group work, which is more affordable and one-on-one, and then a premium of working one-on-one with me in a variety of ways. So that's a lot in there, but that's how I helped my very first client, me, grow a high six-figure coaching business, owning multiple business, earning more than 7 figures between the businesses, how I growing this business to 7 figures, and so excited. Hope there's some nuggets in there for you. If this is helpful, let's chat. You can set up a free call with me to see how I could be helpful to you.